Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we're talking about all things spiritual, as well as creating new systems in the area of finance, education, healthcare, government, and new environmental practices. My name is Addie Halkin. Thank you so much for joining me. If you think that you have any ideas or anything to share in any of the areas that I just mentioned, please feel free to email me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com, or you can type the word guest in the comment section of this video, and I'd love to talk to you and potentially get you on this channel because I want to hear what you have to say, and you'll be able to really share with others what you know. And that's what the channel is all about. It's about connecting. It's about really breaking the barrier that we've all had. I feel like a lot of us have not really been talking. We've been watching the news and paying attention to the information that's basically been fed to us rather than really communicating about our experiences and what we know. I think we know a lot more than we think we do. So that's what the channel's about. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, all those good things if you want to see more content and you want to contribute in this effort to kind of get the alternative information out to the masses. Anyway, today I want to talk about a subject that's actually quite vulnerable for me. I think I'm going to go into another one of those. It's not an area that I really talk to most people about, so I thought I'd just share it with everybody. Um, anyhow, this has to do with our energy fields, and I think most of us are, at this point, fairly aware that we are all connected. That's actually even been proven scientifically. We are simply, energy and condensed bodies. And so, that being the truth, us being connected really basically it's an amazing thing, but it does allow for certain things to happen in our fields that sometimes aren't the most beneficial to us. One of the things that can happen is we can allow other energies to attach to our energy field. Um, I'll put it this way. When it comes to other planets or non-physical, the name of the game is not money, it's energy. And the reason why souls and other spirits want energy is because the more energy you have, the better you feel. And so when souls or spirits or whatever you want to call them, when energies are feeling kind of low or they're wounded or they're not feeling good, they will often attach to another energy field to feed off of it. If you've ever seen the movie The Exorcist, or you've heard somebody talking about, this person being possessed and things like that, that actually is a real thing. That actually does happen. And one of the ways that this happens is if you are compromised too much, meaning you are not being yourself enough. This happens with addiction. I don't think I've ever met anyone who has a strong addiction that doesn't have um, energies attached to their field. Basically, if you want to call them entities, some people say demons. I I don't particularly see these things, so I don't always know exactly what it is. I feel them. I can feel the qualities of these energies, and I can feel the intensity of them. But this happens when we're compromised, basically. Another area that I see this happen in is if you're not being true to yourself. So let's say that you have things about yourself that you're ashamed about, and you're hiding these things from people all the time and trying to wear a mask and be somebody that you're not. Oftentimes you can have the tendency to really pick up on foreign energies and energies that feed off of you. Another thing that I see, and this one always pisses people off. I don't know. I don't know what to do about this, but Western medicine. I do not know one person who is consistently on Western medicine that alters their mind. I'm not necessarily talking about the things that are, just more physiological and physical in nature, but the Western medicine designed to alter the mind um, every time. It just compromises people too much. And another area that I noticed this kind of energy compromising, which leads to allowing other energies to feed off your field, is like if you are taking care of somebody who's really sick, especially somebody perhaps on Western medicine or maybe in an addiction, um, and they have uh, and energies attached to them. If you are not strong within yourself, you can have a tendency to pick up on their inner like their energy attachments as well. These are just some of the examples of things that I've seen as I've, progressed through life and gotten older and older. I feel like these things are starting to really be put in my face more and more. Um, it's really common. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it is something I wanted to address today because I don't think most people understand how affected you are when you have an energy attachment. Um, these things are pretty destructive, generally speaking. I'm going to tell a little story about when I was young and I had this going on. When I was 16 years old, I had a pretty bad eating disorder. I was definitely on the path to no longer living. And I started working with somebody who was, very, spiritual, I guess you could say. And I had worked with her for about a year and a half, and one day she came to me and she said, "I don't think that I am the right person for you." She said, "I've been working with you for a year and a half and you haven't gotten better." She said, I'm used to people, basically improving within about 6 months, and I don't see that you're getting better." She said, I'm not going to leave you high and dry, but, I might look for somebody else because I'm not sure that I'm the right person." And I was not very happy with this. But to make a long story short, she did agree to see me again. So I had another session with her after she said that to me. And in that session, she looked at me and she had a disgusted look on her face. At the time, I didn't really understand why. Now that I've been on the other end of things, I now understand why she looked disgusted in her face. But what she said to me is she said, "There's something that I've seen on your energy field since we started working together." She said, "You have," she called it foreign energy attached to your field. She said, "It's negative and it's feeding off you." And this is the 90s, so I had not heard of anything like this. But I did not even have like the opportunity to make a thought about that. I just remember instinctually looking at her and saying, "You're right." And I just started coughing and coughing and coughing, and I couldn't breathe. And this probably went on for a few minutes. And after that, we kind of wrapped up the session and I walked out and I remember thinking, I feel really different right now. But I didn't quite trust it because there had been many times I'd walked out of her office thinking, I'm going to get better today, and it never would happen. So I went to bed that night. I got up the next morning and I called her crying and I said, "I'm better." I said, "I'm done. Like, this is over. I don't know what happened, but I know that I am better." And so basically what happened is that I ended up coughing off that entity that I had attached to my field. And I tell this story because I would say for about a year of the year and a half that I was working with her, I really felt better in my mind. Like I felt like I was healed, but yet I could not kick the behavior. I couldn't I just I don't know. I couldn't kick it. And then, within a split second of removing that foreign energy that had been feeding off me, I completely healed. There's no more eating disorder. There's never going to be another eating disorder. It's done. And I think that that really illustrates how powerful these foreign energies are. I don't know, like I said, I don't know anyone who has an addiction who doesn't have this going on. And so if you feel like you're constantly feeling bad or you can't get over your addiction, this is something that you might want to look at. These things are far more destructive than anyone could ever guess. Now that I've been on the other side of it, as I said, the look of disgust she had on her face is that these things really are disgusting. Now that I pick up on them myself, they're gross. They're they're not positive. And I've seen many people, lose their jobs. I shouldn't say many people. I've seen a handful or two of people lose their jobs over having these things attached to their field. I've seen people lose their relationships. I've seen people lose custody of their kids. I've seen people just lose. the thing is that these things that get attached to our field, the more they can make you feel bad and, kind of be negative, the more that they're able to pull from your energy field, the more energy they're able to pull from you. So basically, the worse you feel, the better they feel. And so, that's ultimately what they're doing when they're attached to your field. And I will say, having been somebody that had this going on and then now being in the other shoe of observing it in others, um, I didn't know that I had that going on. I had no idea that the energies that are attached to us, they don't want us to know because they don't want us to get rid of them because they have the misconception that, you know, feeding off us is the only way they're going to feel better. It's not actually what true, but that's kind of the play that goes on when you have energy attached to your field. And so it's something to really look at. Um, it's far more prevalent than I could, explain in a video. I will say that these people, there are people who know how to clear these things from your field, and if you have one on your field, I would highly recommend you go get cleared because the level of destruction is not worth the few dollars that you're going to have to spend to have this cleared. If you can find a way to do it yourself, even better. I personally, I'm not a clearer. I don't exactly know how to clear them, but I do know when they're there. And I don't necessarily always know right away, but I eventually end up being as clairsentient and as intuitive as I am. I eventually end up picking it up, and they're not nice. I mean, these energy clearers that do this work, they don't have easy jobs. But this could ultimately be the difference between you getting well and living the life you want and you not. And that's part of why I want to bring this subject up is that um, energetic hygiene is so important. Just because we can't necessarily see it doesn't mean it's not a real thing. And, um, it's also really helpful to the people around you because when somebody has negative energy attached to them, people around don't necessarily know that's going on a lot of times, but they feel funny around you. They may not like you and not know why. That's one of the ways you can tell if somebody has um something attached to their energy field is you may be having negative thoughts about somebody and think I don't understand why. Um you know, another thing that I've seen is that a lot of times when you have foreign energy attached to you, people won't treat you very nicely because they don't necessarily know this is what they're reacting to, but they're reacting to the energy that you're carrying. Basically, that's not even your own. So try not to take it personal if you have something like this attached. It happens. I would put this out there that um, oftentimes this happens to higher frequencies, to higher vibrations, to people who are more giving and loving, because you know you tend to be you tend to not necessarily always have good boundaries because you're always trying to help everybody else. And so I noticed that a lot of really low frequency people who aren't the nicest human beings, they don't have this going on. And so it doesn't make you a bad person to have an energy attachment, but what it does do is potentially destroy a lot of things in your life, and it makes it really hard on the people around you. So, if you have more questions about this, I may not necessarily be a clearer at this point. I may not know how to clear these off of people, but I certainly know how to pick it up if somebody does have this on them. Um, I welcome questions. This is a subject that I am finding is more and more important for people to address, especially as we're shifting and trying to, have happier lives. This is a huge barrier if you're trying to make shifts and have a happy life. This also can be a huge barrier to healing up addictions. So, happy to help, happy to answer questions, happy to talk with you and see what I can pick up. And Yeah, let's keep our energy fields clean and just know that you don't ever have to be some kind of I hate the word victim, but I don't have a better word right now. You don't ever have to be a victim to energies feeding off your field. Uh, there is a way to keep them out, and it has everything to do with being your authentic self, being true to yourself, valuing how you feel, and not wearing a mask, not being ashamed, just living from the kind of the root of who you really are. That will keep your field clean. It really will. So I hope you found this helpful. And again, if you have any ideas around shifting our planet forward, especially in the areas of finance, education, government, healthcare, and new environmental practices and spirituality, please feel free to reach out to me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com. Or again, you can leave the word guest in the comment section. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on another video. Take care.